Okay, so we're reacting to some, I guess, viewer tattoos here today. I think we got a big sleeve to show off, a full sleeve of some kind, and then I think we have one from a guy that I think he thinks we forgot about him. I think that's the case. I think
They
that's what
always
we've
think
got.
we forgot about them.
I don't think everybody who says that watches most of the episodes.
Right.
They're just hoping that their tattoos in the thumbnail.
I think the problem is you give them attention. Stop giving them attention.
No, I don't think that's... I think it's fun to play with.
Anyway.
I think it's fun to play with.
This says, hey Remy, love watching your videos. I wanted to show you my sleeve. It's a comic book theme in a subterranean cave, Marvel characters and symbiotes, and Batman fighting Jaws with a lightsaber.
That was a fucking mouthful.
It's a lot.
He even knows. He's like, uh-oh. Before we even get to it, he's already like kind of preparing me. He's like, yeah, it's a lot, bud. I didn't hold back. See, like, in the description of this, you could have showed me a bodysuit.
Yeah, there's a lot
like,
going on in one little sleeve.
He kept it pretty condensed for everything that's like good on the email. Like, he didn't go on and on and on about this thing. But
we didn't need a big ramble about it.
But like, well, that's what I'm here for. But but like, that could have been a whole bodysuit.
Yep, I agree.
Right? Like, that's, oh wait, what? You know, and I'm looking at this and the saturation is pretty good.
Yeah, I really like the style that it was done in.
I kind of do.
No, I do.
I kind of do. Like, it's got a kind of cool look to it.
It looks kind of like old school comic booky.
Is the bottom red, or is he just fucking burned?
I think.
Or is the saturation just like mega high?
I don't know.
Is that
Maybe
can't be
mega high saturation?
Looks like he's got, well, no, let's see, he's got like really red skin. Like, it almost looks like the bottom of his hand there is like red ink. Let's see if we can get a close up on certain parts of this here. The Deadpool at the bottom is like, it looks like he's fighting. This must be a comic strip, eh? This whole thing.
But it's different things all put together.
Oh, for sure. But like that Deadpool in there is like tearing the jaws of a fucking creature or something.
It's Venom.
Is it Venom?
Yeah.
That doesn't really look like Venom to me.
Look it. Those are Venom's eyes and those are Venom's jaws.
I guess.
Yes.
It's just when you do things this small, it's so hard to make them all out.
And then you see there's a lightsaber and...
No, that's Cyclops firing beams from his eyes.
There's supposed to be a lightsaber in there somewhere.
I'm sure there is a lightsaber, but that's literally Cyclops firing a beam.
Okay, I don't see Cyclops, but I'm far away.
Here.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Oh yeah, now I see it.
Don't worry. I'm sure we're gonna get to the lightsaber. There's a lot going on in here. In this forearm, we have Venom, Deadpool, Wolverine, Cyclops, Captain America. Someone else in between him and is that Dr. Doom, or I don't recognize all. So these guys are all in their old costumes too, and I do recognize most of them. I just don't want to say with certainty that that's Dr. Doom, and then someone will point out that it's not. The big part of the problem here is in these characters, and why they have this problem is like. I actually like all of these old comic art guys.
Me too.
I like them a lot. Wolverine's, obviously everyone loved Wolverine as a kid. And this 90s style was my favorite version of them.
It was my favorite too.
And that's not just because I grew up with it. It's also, I just think it's the coolest version.
I thought it was like really gritty and like...
They just brought it back.
Yeah.
And, it's doing great ratings again because it was good. A lot of the stuff that was made in the 90s was edgier and kind of... had a darker,
gritty.
That's where we got Spawn, right?
Yep.
Like, you wouldn't have got Spawn today. You can't have Spawn now. Go back and watch the old Spawn cartoon. It's like, holy shit, that thing is still so dark. And I keep revisiting that throughout the years, and it never changes. If that's too much, right now it's probably more than it's ever been, right? Like, it's actually getting darker as time goes on, but still somehow, like, modern, right? It doesn't feel old.
Yeah.
Same as the X-Men cartoon. Like, if you watch the old episodes, like, it still looks good and it still feels kind of good. It's a little too fast-paced, I think. Like, everything happens like light speed. There's zero filler. Like,
Wow.
there's no filler in that shit. It's just like, boom, boom, we're on to the next thing. But, like, good stuff. The only problem is, and where I was getting to, is they did what little there is of background in this forearm here is all in blue, and all of their costumes were blue.
Yes.
So it's like, it has this blobbing effect.
I know, it makes it really hard to see like what's kind of going
And
on.
like, my first instinct is to say this sucks, but like,
It doesn't suck. It's really good.
well, upon inspection, it's like the color saturation is pretty fucking solid, and like the characters are way too small, but they got so much detail in these little guys that it's like, it's quite remarkable that they were able to do this. And this is where I always say color stands out better than black and gray.
Because
Like,
if this
just-
was black and gray,
oh,
it would have
dude.
looked like a mess.
If this was black and gray, this is done for. Like, these color walls do everything for this. These little bits of like brighter or lighter blue in between things, and the red, and the negative space in the red, and just like the yellow that's giving it some light, is just about all that's keeping this from being a mashed potato.
Yeah, mashed potato.
It's true.
Yeah.
And like, you couldn't do this with black and gray. Not this way. Not this small. We've already seen that. The Star Wars bodysuit guy. That whole thing, like Leia and all those characters, they were all like,
Too tiny.
they were all vanishing before our eyes and running together. When you put these colors together like this and everything is distinct, even at this size, it's almost like the colors can't blur into each other as easily. It's the same reason why all of the color on black stuff that we've done on me, it's like the minute you put one color next to another color, it's like, okay, now you can see the colors.
Right.
You just put one color in there next to that black, it's like you can't even really, your brain doesn't really pick it up. It's there. It just doesn't look like it's there.
Yeah, you can't compute it.
Anyway, other than too small, let's move up here.
Oh,
I
there's
think
Jaws.
There's probably some other pictures too. Yeah. So, yeah, Jaws. And Batman is riding Jaws.
That's crazy.
And that green background, I would like to have seen a little bit more of that incorporated.
Ah,
The color blend on the green. See, this is where it's like, this kind of looks bad, but like, it's awesome, right? Like, if you zoom in here, like, look at all the little things going on.
well,
in
and
here.
this, like, whatever this is happening here, that's
Fucking
super
incredible.
cool.
The detail and the shot. It's got a very painterly vibe to
Yeah.
it. It's almost like, yes, it is comic art, but it almost looks like a painting,
Yeah.
right? Like the way it's like a tapestry or something. It's just from afar, it looks kind of shit. Like up close, I kind of love these because you get up close on them and you're like, you're noticing the love that went into this.
Right.
It looks like 100 hours plus easy into all of this. I would imagine, especially if we get into the little, like, look at even on this side here.
No, look, it's what's his face?
Yeah.
Spawn guy.
I don't know if it is or not. There are some other creatures that look kind of like that. Like, there's a lot going on here. Jesus
Not
Christ.
Spawn guy. Ooh,
This is something
Hulk.
that Rick would love to work on for the next 45 years.
Yeah, 45 years.
Look at the Hulk is just, his muscles have muscles and muscles. The Hulk looks a little funny. He's almost like that thing of like, you can do too much detail.
Yeah.
Like he is like almost like the tattooer was tattooing with one hand and jerking off with the other hand. Like, look at the detail. Look at the detail. Like,
Yeah.
it's just for him at that point.
Oh my goodness.
Like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. There's a lot of weird shit going on in there. That is like really hard to read in places. That mouth is pretty defined though. Because everything in here is so busy, the things that are more like kind
bigger
of chill,
things.
they get to really showcase, which is an interesting choice because like that mouth in there is bigger than most of the guys on his forearm.
Right, and that's like the first thing you see. And then so some of that aquatic stuff too is like really apparent as to what it is.
Well, they created a story, right?
Yeah.
Because like all these guys are fighting some kind of a fucking battle down here.
Yeah.
In the ocean, like, and then it's like the minute you realize you're looking at like an underwater battle scene with like all these different heroes, it's almost like a multiverse kind of war has happened.
Yeah.
And like that draws you in to find out what else is happening, right? Like, because like when I see this from afar, I'm like, holy fuck, what the fuck is this? And I actually think that's a good thing because it's very unique. But then when you get up close on it, you're wanting to like follow the story,
Yeah.
right? You're like wanting to travel with it and kind of see who's doing what and
Yeah,
how they're
and then
all
know why, like
interacting.
why is so and so fighting?
Yeah. But like I'm
So-and-so.
not going to give this a complete 100% because it's not what I'm trying to do here either, because someone's going to be upset because I'm not hammering the fact that some of this is pretty murky.
Yeah, it's too much going on. That's like the
guy wanted
fatal
too
flaw.
much.
It's a fatal flaw that there's so much going on. I think this artist is really talented.
Even as a back piece, this is a tall order.
Yeah.
But I love it. Like, I like this one more than the Star Wars bodysuit thing. Mm-hmm. I think it has like more creativity and kind of like it's very custom, and the arrangement of characters and the backdrop and the scene and everything is very unique. But it's also like a very cool approach to it too. I don't want to see this every day.
Yeah.
But like, I like seeing this in general. I like to know that this is out there, and that for someone who just wants to have like the most ridiculous, wacky comic sleeve possible, like this guy's doing a good job of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like for what it is, even though like it's going against my usual instincts for big, bold, and readable. You know, I like a little bit of everything in tattooing, and this one does make me quite happy to look at. I also like how many different colors are used.
I
They
love
just
how
fucking
bright
threw
it
the
is.
color wheel at this. This
I
is
also, but the
30
colors,
ink caps a
the
session.
colors feel like comic book colors. Like they feel like the right colors to have been used in the comics.
They do, but when you look at the flow of it, like I said, it does look more like a painting.
Yeah.
It doesn't have those bold outlines that a comic book has.
And there's white space in some comic.
Yeah,
with the bubbles.
It doesn't have like this big, bold, readable, striking visual. It's more of a soft kind of painting style thing. So, yeah, it's an artistic take on comic books. I'm still looking for the lightsaber.
Right here. Oh no, that's
No, that's
still
the beam.
the
That's
beam.
that's the beam from his eyes.
Well,
It's very hard to see. I'm sure if we backed up and looked carefully through everything, we could find it. But anyway, I like the sleeve. Thank you for sending it.
yeah, super fun.
I think he was probably worried I was going to fucking hate it.
There's no hate. It's just a nitpick. I would like it to be less.
I like it more than almost all generic tattoos I see.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think it's aesthetically...
Like you could have done all of this on your whole body. This would have been a bodysuit.
Well, Christ, if he does a whole bodysuit, can you imagine how complex and ridiculous it would be? I would love to see it.
Oh, me too.
I would love to see that thing get rolled out everywhere.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Especially in color like that. You're going to have one hell of a collection on your hands if you do that. Look at all the characters he already has.
Right, and there's a lot of characters to go from, so.
So this thing comes in again, and I don't have the email attached, but it was something to the effect of, like, I think you skipped over my hand tattoo updates. I don't think we did. I think I've seen this. And I don't know why then you would just share the same ones again. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick either. Like, I would like to see how this looks, like, today. Because this is, I think I've seen this exact photo. Mm-hmm. And I think this is, like, fresh, right? So, yeah, definitely fresh.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty soft.
Yeah, it looks soft, fresh. I can imagine how it looks healed.
Both of them look very soft.
Right, it's convincing that it could be healed. If I didn't see that bit up there, where it's clearly tattooed, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, this is fucking, you know.
But I wonder how it's gonna settle into the skin, because I feel
Well,
like
I think all of
hands
that-
really lighten up quite a bit.
You gotta
most
go
of the
way
time.
darker on your hands. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost never a case of tattooing the way you want it to be. It's like you want to tattoo it way darker than you want it to be, so that when it lightens, especially in black and gray, like in black and gray especially, like all of your 20 is going to be 0, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go 60 if you want 20 realistically, almost. Like it dials back a lot. And like some people are better at tattooing hands than others, obviously, but I still think it would have been better to not go as detailed on the knuckles. Personally, I would have just kind of soft shaded off of them, and realistically, nothing that's on the knuckles is really of any importance anyway. Like none of this stuff is like what am I looking at? Leaves,
Yeah.
right? Like what the fuck? Why not just soft shade off? because like soft shading breaking up on your knuckles would look
Better than a
than
destroyed leaf.
yeah, exactly. And I tell this to everyone here all the time. Like, hey man, take it easy on knuckles are fucking terrible. They're the worst, and most people aren't going to be willing to do touch-ups and second passes and shit. Like, we know this about clients. A lot of times they're out the door, they're never coming back.
I know.
So
There's a few that I'm like, can you please come back?
So yeah, when you do these things, plan them in a way that it's like, if they don't come back, they're walking out the door with something on them from me that isn't going to speak ill of me.
Yes.
If only that.
Yeah.
You still want to give them a good piece, but you don't want your name looking bad on
I think
something.
it's a combination of give them the best product you can, assuming that they're not coming back.
Otherwise, I mean, obviously, I like the sizing, and I think it's a cool hand tattoo. I mean, I don't have a whole lot else to say. I think they're cool, right? But they're black and gray Japanese. I always think black or Japanese is better in color. I think most things are better in color.
Yeah, it's a fun shift.
Yeah.